Okay. Happy Friday. I am multi-streaming. I don't know how this is going to work. Interesting, right? I'm on Twitch as well as Kick right now. So I don't know how the internet's going to hold up, but we're going to try this. Also, I need to. For those How about now? Is there reverb? Because it's such. How about now? Is there reverb? Because it's. I don't know how to do this. This fucking laptop's. I don't know how to do this. This fucking laptop's. Is there reverb now? Like, do you just hear me? Is there reverb now? Like, do you just hear me, or is it me and another sound, like playing over itself? God bless America. No. God bless America. I've been talking again. This is what I was saying. I've been talking again. This is what I was saying. Videos are muted. Sometimes my videos are muted. Sometimes they're reverbed and they have like. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is it doing? My voice is repeated too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is it doing that? I don't know. I'm trying to mute. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Is that better? I'm trying to mess with the. How about now? Is that better now? Hello. Problem still persists. I don't know. How long has it been doing that? I'm sitting here wondering why nobody listens to me. What about now? What about now? I am looking at the mixer. Oh, it might be too. I just realized. Oh, you know what?
Okay, now you get a full view of the messy living room. Does that work? Is that better now? Did I pay tax on air? You're funny. This is awesome. Yay, it's fixed. It was my fucking camera. Asshole. No, it's probably the way I had it set up. Son of a bitch. I've been streaming for like an hour to two every single day in this. And this is okay, now we have answers. Thank you. For some reason, I don't know why I keep messing with my hair. It's like every angle is awful right now. Okay, so the reason for the issue with the thing is my actual camera for my laptop I guess I have to go in and mess with the settings. That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah, that's a fucked up situation right now. And just because it's happening in your neighbor's yard doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen in yours, right? And America hasn't seen war on its own land in over 100 years, or at least close to it. So, y'all pray for everyone on this planet at this point, because if AI gets a hold of a nuclear bomb, forget it, we're all screwed. I mean, there's no limit on AI. This shit scares the hell out of me. I literally made a post this morning on my TikTok about saying I feel like I'm Sarah Connor sitting here listening to everything happen and watching all of these posts and all these great technological advances, and I'm just like, uh-huh. There's no limit. You just, the son of man just like was born into the world, and oh my god, now it's in complete control of everything. And we think it's like a savior, and it's not. It's like to our detriment. So that's my personal take on that bullshit. I think that we should have never created AI to begin with, but it was gonna happen. And if we were to ever to be blown back into like some prehistoric, non-electronic using world, it would probably be because of AI. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you are from another country, I highly suggest that you don't come to America right now. Because, well, that's not true, actually. That's not true. There's some areas that are not, complete chaos. Um, so, but I do feel like you will be side eyed if you're from another country, which sucks because we're all fucking immigrants. All of us are. So, what the hell do we have to say? Like, oh, we came here as an immigrant however many years ago. We've been here. We settled into this country, and now, oh, another immigrant's trying to come here? I get it. You want to get married immediately? To who? Wait. Oh, okay, so you can come into the country. But do you really want to, though? I feel like most Americans are, like, trying to leave. And that's another thing, too, is, like, um, the America that I grew up in my mind, right, was a completely different one that's happening today. So maybe it's just evolution is happening in society, and this is how we're able to create new ways of doing things that work in the benefit of both parties. You know what I mean? This is a good place to start for healing, but unfortunately, there's a lot more hands in this than we're aware of. We're just seeing what they're showing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just seeing the ground level firsthand view of whatever topic or background bullshit that's going on, right? You have no idea who's involved with everything that's going on, like in the background. So, although, yes, there may be little civil wars type thing happening, some riots and stuff, but there's a reason behind it that is actually pushing more towards an agenda than there is an actual, like, the actual problem. So um your English is worse than your life. Oh, that's, yeah, me too. I feel you on that one. Yeah. I am for going to other countries, totally for it. But if, as an American, if I was to go to another country and I wanted to live there, what would be my requirements? Hey, strange man, you're Swedish? Yeah, I mean, I'm not against immigration. I'm just saying that if I had to do it for another country, what would I have to do? And if I had to do it for this country, I mean, even as an American, for me to get identification, I had to go through this recently for my kids. Like they all had to go through and get their socials again. They all had to go through and get their IDs again. They had to go through everything again in the past couple of years. So, and that was a nightmare. And as an American who's already been living here my entire life, my children were born here. My children have lived here their entire life. They've been a citizen. Even as a citizen, I do not qualify for a lot of stuff. I do not have the ability to easily access stuff like maybe other people do. And the steps that I had to take, even like I said, as an American, I was born here, I have a birth certificate here. But the DMV is saying, like, oh, well, you're not who you say you are, so now you have to re-show and prove. This was last year. I had to re-show and prove who I was to update or to renew my license. And they said that when I applied 20-something years ago to this state, because each state's different, so when I applied to this state, my birth certificate wasn't real. It wasn't a valid form of identification. And I think that they've changed it since then for, you know, whatever kind of ID that you have to have. But as from an American standpoint, like that's crazy. Like, why should I have to keep proving who I am? And if AI gets into those systems, how the hell are you going to prove who you are? The lines of reality and AI are so blurred now, and they are involved in so much stuff and have no limit whatsoever. This is legitimately a hacker that has full access to everything at all times. And every single thing that is going to be built from this point forward is going to have AI in it. So even if you are an immigrant or if you are a civilian or, like, you know, you were born in that country, it's not going to matter anymore. There are no more borders. It's just humans versus humans and humans versus AI at this point. So we're all on the same fucking planet. We all have problems. We all have great things about us. Why can't we fucking share? I understand. Listen, you're going to see a lot more refugees. You're going to see, if this war or this type of behavior from all these countries continues, the chaos is going to ensue on all land for all people. And it's not going to stop until someone finally says, all right, enough's enough. Holy shit, the world's fucked now. Which isn't going to happen because there's too much money behind it. There's too much behind it. It's business ventures. America got sold out already. I don't know why we don't even realize this yet. We are now a dark farm. The whole country is. It's a dark farm for future AI. Do you know of any other farming land that's been bought up by companies in your area, even if you're in another country? You may not even realize there's a silent war going on right now. It's a land grab. And it's for the future. It's for not humans. Yeah, America's going to go through another hardcore industrial era again, but it's not going to be with human workers. It's going to be with AI. It's going to be with robots. North Carolina just been sold out completely on most of the larger land because companies are coming in with AI-based technology and factories, including Amazon. Who else? There was one that just bought land in Raleigh for an AI plant for a future airport. I was just talking about this yesterday in the Twitch stream. And so the areas that you're living in right now, the war that you're seeing going on, the little like battles and shit like that, it's just a distraction. It's a distraction. It's a land grab for natural resources. They want you to be paying attention to all this bullshit that's going on over here. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very important. But the real attention that you need to pay attention to is ourselves as human beings. We need to, for survival purposes at this point, need to be there for each other in more ways than you've ever thought of before. And I don't even think we realize it because we're so distracted. We're so stuck in the screen, all the time in our everyday right now that we're not looking at what the long term of this is all going to be. And maybe I am a conspiracy theorist. Maybe I'm thinking way above and beyond this little box of normality. And that everything, yes, is part of a system. And I get that. I talk about that in the homeschooling. I talk about that in life. And again, I know this is going to piss off a lot of people because they're not understanding where I'm coming from. I am not an immigrant. I am not a refugee. I have been homeless. I have been displaced from my children. I have been in situations where I lost everything. So I can be compassionate. I can remember to have a heart and have a mind of my own and be a human being and remember shit happens beyond our understanding because of the lack of knowledge. We have only been given a small portion of information of everything from each one of us. So the little bit that you see every single day is not the whole story. And it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to find the truth in it, which it is out there. But if you want to find truth in it, and at the very end of it, it always ends up filtering up to corporate of some kind, right? Or government or some larger entity. Well, if you have to, put it up to the large entity. You know what I'm saying? Put it up to them to decide of, okay, well, all this shit's happening. What do we do? I mean, why do you vote, right? There's so many sides to this. I could probably pull into like all different kinds, never-ending conversation. When it comes to politics, religion, gender, money, the really heavy topics that nobody really likes talking about. The elephant in the room is more so there for you to look at his shoes. You see what I'm saying? Elephant shoe too. It's a thing between me and Jeff. But the elephant shoe is to remind you of the small things. The small things are the most important things, okay? When you say elephant shoe and you don't have volume to it, it looks like you're saying I love you. But to other people, they hear elephant shoe. It's not, yes, you have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, but those little things are what's the most important in that scenario, in that situation that nobody is even looking at. We forget to be a human being. And I understand that it's easy for me to sit here and say this because it's not happening to me. I know that it's an easy place to stand, right? Whatever you believe in, okay? Doesn't matter what you believe in. I just want you to believe in something greater than yourself. I want you to believe in yourself enough to know that you can be the one that makes the change in the world. I don't care what book you read it from. I don't care who told you how to think. I don't care who made you feel some type of way that pushed you in a direction that made you believe some certain type of way. Okay? I just want you to believe in yourself enough and believe in something greater than yourself. And I needed a minimum of 4,000 people to be able to do that, to raise their frequency. Because that's what this world needs right now. We need to raise our frequency. Sorry, I'm going back to the chat. I'm trying to read your stuff, Lefla. And Strange Man, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. You have a bunch of people that are not from your city show up in your city. I mean, even for an event, we see this all the time. Even if you have like an event that's happening in your town and you have a bunch of tourists come in, right? It's a little chaotic. Well, now think of it this way, that like these people now have no city to go back to. So your city is now their city. So what are you going to do when the devil comes knocking at your door? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do when someone comes to you and says, hey, I need help. Are you going to ignore them or are you going to help them? Don't get me wrong. I understand there's certain scenarios and certain situations. I get that. There's always danger in everything. A lot of the aggravation and anger is coming from not being heard, not being recognized. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that sometimes people, when they don't get what they want, they throw a temper tantrum. That's what's happening in the world. Everybody's getting a temper tantrum because they're not getting what they want. They don't realize that this is part of the change that's getting ready to happen in this entire world as a collective. We've already gone through pandemic together as a whole. The whole world did. So that was the reset. That was everybody's on the same page. Everybody that has lived within the past 5 years or been alive within the past 5 years has all been in isolation of some sort. Everywhere on the world. And it's funny, like I could totally go into like an entire like religious conversation about this, but I mean I'm not religious, but I do believe in a greater power. And the whole 2,000 years thing, it's in the books. um, will there be people living 2,000 years from now? I mean, I'll be honest with you. The way it's looking, this planet's about to get scorched. So the people who are aware of what's really going on, they're going up. They're going up and out. It's a repeat in history. It's probably how we got here. It's probably the missing link. We probably scorched our own planets, and the only people left were the elite, and they used the DNA to transfer to another planet and inhabitate another planet. That's my idea. Don't know if it's true or not, but it's really sounding kind of, a little more real than thought. So, for those of you who are not aware of all of the things that are going on in outer space or the things that they're pushing towards that venture, I highly suggest you take a good look at what is going on in the world and space right now. Mixture between the technology and AI. And don't get me wrong, every single time that the world has had an advancement in technology, everybody's been terrified. I get it. But this one's a little more specific. This one covers everything in every aspect, not just in business, but in personal life. It's just a little too close to home. You know what I'm saying? And so much so in taking over the home. Okay? Taking over self. Taking over your thoughts. Taking over your identity. And this is why I say borders don't fucking matter anymore. AI has now completely erased all borders. AI now has the ability to take your voice, take your face, create scenarios, make phone calls, send emails, send everything that you can possibly do, AI can do for you on your behalf. So now, with video evidence, real life looking evidence. So now the justice system is completely annihilated. Every single aspect of our lives is now going to be affected by AI. They've already been proven that they called 911 and reported a person murdering their child. When police show up, there's nothing wrong. There's legitimately nothing wrong. They didn't even make the phone call. So, this is very serious, and yes, there is no stopping it now. There's no stopping it. So the whole thing about, like border control and all this other stuff, yeah, it's all fine and good for in the moment. I understand that. But the reality is that none of this matters anymore. It doesn't. Right now, we need to be there for each other. Humanity needs to be there for each other. Because it's not us versus us anymore. That's what they are trying to do, is make it to where we kill each other. Of course, naturally. Population control. What's people to feed? Right? That's the cold-heartedness of corporate. They don't give a shit. You're a fucking member. You're a number. So what do you think all of this is going to end up being? All the land, all the water. Did you know that the CEO of Nestle is now over all the water rights in America? I wonder how that happened or why that happened. Did you know that dark factories and lithium factories are like the number one in water usage? And they're about to be all over the United States. Texas, North Carolina, those two specifically. I don't know about the other ones. So, and as far as North Carolina's like water issues lately, Hurricane Helen, that whole area was mapped for lithium mining. Yes. So, to answer your questions of what do I think about all of this, there's your answer. Yeah. When am I going to hit anything with missiles? No. 1 minute ad. Yay! Yes, loved. 12:47. Yeah, I feel like we're in the by and large section of Wall-E, or like I'm Will Smith and iRobot trying to tell everybody about this shit, or like I said, Sarah Connor, and like watching everybody use AI, and it's like, I'm just waiting for the trickle down. You know, like when does this shit hit? Is it silent? Just like I was saying, as far as like, okay, China, for example, has the perfect position. They played fucking chess instead of checkers in this shit, which is whatever. But the fact that they are buying up land in America and putting solar farms on it, just like their mountains, but it's underneath a corporation name. I've been talking about this for the past 5 years. Manufacturers and insurance agencies are in bed with each other. Everything corporate-wise is umbrellaing all mom and pop shops. Everything that was previously owned independently is no longer going to be independent. It's going to be part of a corporation. It's just going to be kept under the same name, kept exactly the way it looks, so this way you have no idea. But underneath the main name is the corporate name. It's a silent war, guys. We are getting taken over by other countries. We're getting taken over by corporations that are using loopholes, which are completely legal, and some not so much, but in ways of being able to access things that they previously probably never even would have thought of before. On top of now we have war drones, which are everywhere. Amazon's getting ready to utilize drones for delivery service. DoorDash is doing it. So this is not a future thing. This is happening right now. And so when I say to you, oh, don't be surprised if you see a bunch of freaking random ass robots everywhere, because in the Goodwill bins, when I go to the Goodwill bins, which is like the very bottom of the barrel for thrifting and like for local resale type situations, like basically everything that you guys get rid of ends up in the bins. Okay? So as I'm walking through, and this has been over the course of the past 6-7 months, as I'm walking through, I'm seeing more and more robot toys. More and more of these like little robot cleaners in the dumpster. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, first of all, it's not made to last. First, like that hasn't been a thing for a while anyways. Everything's instant gratification. All of the buying that is happening in the world today is at such a large rate that landfills can't even keep up with it anymore. And the amount of plastic that we have everywhere is, I could go into like 17 different conversations. Anyway. For real though, shit's crazy. And everyone's just like, oh, let's take a picture. Yay. That's great. In the background, it's like dumpster fire. So this is the amount of what is it? When you're ignorance. The amount of ignorance is enough to kill a planet. The amount of ignorance that society has is enough to kill a planet. And I know that I am part of that because of my lack of knowledge of the things that are happening in the world today. Yeah, I did. Political topic is casserole? Oh yeah, I haven't worked on the mods yet, so yes I do. I'm multi-streaming on multiple different platforms. So I'm looking at this screen, I'm looking at this screen, I'm looking at that screen. I'm doing it the free way. It's a lot harder, but because I don't have a multi-streaming platform. So, but yes, I do read the chat. Every once in a while. Sometimes I can't. Like for those of you who are watching this on my YouTube, which will probably be like tomorrow, because I do all the pre-streaming and then I upload it to the YouTube, which I probably should just go live from YouTube also. For those of you who are on my YouTube, you won't see this till later. But yeah, when I say that I can't read the chat, a lot of times it's because I'm in StreamYard or I'm in some other kind of like Streamlabs or some other kind of streaming platform, like third-party platform that sometimes I can't see the screen. So it's kind of like behind it. I don't have a dual screen setup or anything. So it's kind of behind the thing that I'm using, so I can't really see the chat. So if I say that, it's because I legitimately can't see it. And the ASMR waterfall sounds come directly from Jeff. So, use this as fuel to light your fire. Merch. So, merch cup. Finally got it. 3rd year. Amen. Right? Finally. I do have keychains as well as stickers available on the Etsy. And that cup. Keychain. Oh, yeah. Check it out, guys. Love. I got a keychain. Come by. It's $1. Anyway. So. I definitely have the multiple personalities to be right. Question is, what will I be famous for? So, have you Googled my name yet? You okay? You bored? You want to join me?
No, I'm not bored. That's the last thing.
You want to join me in my
No.
my drama bullshit talking? My conspiracy theory from hell talking, I should say. At least it's entertaining, right? Can't keep up with half the shit I talk about, but you know, never ends. And that's the thing, is a 3-second scroll, so you have to keep changing topics. Even in your little podcast, you guys got to start changing topics a little bit faster because y'all are killing me. I do not have the attention span that I had when I was younger, except for to talk. I could talk all day long to the stream by myself for hours on end about nothing. Nothing at all. Yet, if I try to watch somebody else talk, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, if I had to sit there through a lecture, you get about 15 minutes, and then that's it. And unfortunately, yeah, nowadays, the instant gratification thing, like I said, as far as the scrolling, timing 3-second intervals of constantly fed information to your brain does not allow you the opportunity or the chance to even use your own mind. It does not give you the neural pathways. It feeds you the information instead of you going and finding it. Again, I am a Googleaholic, and it is my best friend. So I understand where we have all fallen really into this issue. And basically, the entire world is addicted to electronics now. And social media made it worse. Yes, again, probably was a very, very, I'm just going to give it credit where credit's due, smart move as far as business-wise. But as far as on an evolutionary change, I mean, we advanced ourselves so fast in such a short amount of time after this pandemic, which I called because usually after pandemics, there is an excessive amount of creation that happens because we self-isolate. And we kind of work through all of the things in our own mind to allow us to be able to heal long enough to go to the next level. And I really see, or I even called it and said that there was going to be an advancement in creation. I did not know that AI was going to be created.
Did the AI
Not
create
like
its
this.
own self?
AI is, if it hasn't already, it is borderline to becoming self-aware. They've already talked about, like, some of the people who started all of this, that they are very aware of it going outside of its own boxes of code, right? So I don't. And if those people are already recognizing that the limitations don't exist anymore, we now realize where our creator fucked up. Maybe we killed our creator. Maybe we're just clones on another planet that time traveled and crash landed here and just mixed with the DNA on the planet, and now we are humans. And who's to say that humans are all the same species? Maybe we're different types of humans. Maybe aliens really aren't aliens. They're just a different type of our own DNA. So you gotta think evolution, radiation, timing, planetary, like as far as like the environment that the DNA was brought up in. I mean, it's the same thing in people, right? No matter where you are in the world, we were all raised differently. We were all raised with different experiences and different languages, different ways of doing things. And so, at a very baseline, there are very few mandatory things that all people have to do, right? Like, I don't know, sleep. A lot of us cut a large portion of that out every single day, and it's not healthy at all. Food, so eating, hydrating are the three mandatories. Oxygen, right? So I forget what the fifth one is, but well, I would say cleanliness, but I've seen people who were completely caked in mud that were healthier than some of the healthier people that supposedly were healthy. So can't really say cleanliness anymore. But yeah, you get the baseline of it. So I forget where I was going with this. So yeah, I mean, there's not really a requirement for human beings on this planet other than what we were told was a requirement. And some of those baseline mandatories are even questionable, because I've even seen videos of people who went without eating for a long period of time or went without drinking. And I mean, I know for myself, I can go a very long time without drinking fluids. Whether it's healthy for me or not, I don't know. But again, goes back to everything that we know is what we have been told, what we experience, and what we think of our, in our own minds. And for example, words are man-made. Everything prior to us being here is man-made. So what is really required of us to survive at a baseline, right? And what if you, let's just say this, okay, think of it this way. If you could rule a planet, right? Let's just say you are the creator. If you could rule a planet, what would you do? Right? Would you force all of them to be exactly the same way for control? Or would you allow each one of the individuals to be themselves because of the fact that because they're themselves, it makes the world interesting and worth living in. Even though there's chaos, even if there's like a baseline of like a baseline traditional linear thing to start with, right? Just like one core line. We all live and breathe and exist in this DNA train consistently, all day long, every day. So the baseline is life itself, okay? And anything above and beyond that is extra. We were not put on this planet to destroy it. And if we were, why? Why were we put here to destroy it? You know, it's just like all of these thought processes keep going through each one of our minds, and maybe yours is a little bit different than mine. Okay. Why? You know, it even says in certain books not to ask why. Yeah, you're supposed to ask why. You may not know the answer. You may not find out the answer. You may never know the answer. But I am telling you to ask. I'm telling you to ask yourself why when you get triggered for things. I'm asking you to ask other people why so you can continue to learn. I think that at any point in time, we have an opportunity to change all of this. It's really ultimately up to us. And the fact of our individuality is the highest frequency, so that in itself is automatically going to go above and beyond anything that is fake or man-made, because our own authenticity is a direct link to the universe itself. So it depends on what you believe in. It depends on who you are as a person and how do you want to be involved in things or not be involved in things. But just understand that the consequences don't just affect one person. It affects everybody. Whether it's in one way directly or another way externally. Because you got to remember, just because these events are happening on the other side of the planet, let's say, doesn't mean that it's not going to affect you here. It's not going to affect you wherever you are. Anywhere. It's going to affect all of us. And my heart goes out to people who are fighting every single day just to survive. You know, just to get through today. Just get through the next 30 seconds or next scroll time, you know? Like, let's just get to the next thing. Always rush to the next. And we forget to be in the here and now. You know, there was a point in time where, you know, fast everything was the way to be, and there was a small period of time where it was like a slow movement. Just like ignoring your own health eventually forces you to pay attention to your own health. Right? If you continue to ignore the problems in the world and ignore the things that are happening, eventually you are going to deal with the consequences of the ignorance. They say ignorance is bliss. Well, as a society, we are all ignorant because of our lack of information. And that's why I keep imploring you guys to keep learning and growing. But now with AI, how are you supposed to tell whether it's the truth or not? It's just more confusion. It's more division. So this way they can conquer and control. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let's say, okay, let's talk positively about all this, right? Let's just look at the positive side of this. Let's be ignorant for a minute, right? Oh, it's the world's greatest thing. It can do anything. Literally. Anything. So, I ask then, okay, if it's cheaper to have an AI employee, it's cheaper to have a robot employee, it's cheaper to go dark in the factories, and pretty much everywhere is going to have AI anyway, right? So when the fuck does everything else get cheaper? Hello? Just wondering. like I said earlier, I feel like we're in the by and large era of Wall-E because of the fact that A, everybody's recording themselves. B, everybody's buying in large quantities. The landfills can't handle it. We have entirely too many things that are toxic on this planet at a high rate of speed that is going to be advancing exponentially in the next 6 months. And it's in everything. Everything that has internet, everything that has electricity going to it, it's going to be in all of that. And the Wi-Fi now, it's in the Wi-Fi. So if you have the forward thinking process of, okay, this is fine and great, okay, where's the advancements in technologies that are saving people? Where is the advancements in technology that is going to make me fucking money? Because if it comes this easy, why is it not giving me money? Why do I not have every single thing that I could ever possibly want right now because of AI? If AI is so fucking wonderful and so great, what is it doing for me? I'm still on this planet along with everybody else for now. You know, I mean, I even at one point in time, even though as much anti-AI and anti-robot I am, I even asked Elon Musk to put my living conscience into the first AI to be a space representative. It's possible now. They can record your dreams into a little thing. They can show you your dream when you wake up. They can go into your brain right now and erase your fucking memories from you. They said that it was from post-traumatic stress disorder. But that's where it starts. So the ability to be able to access one person's hearing in a crowd. Beaming projects and, you know, the whole laser thing. Remember I was talking about Africa having a freaking line cut through the center of it for water transport. It's going to be a future water highway. Where do you think they're going to dig that from? They're not going to go down there and do it. They're going to have AI do it. And they're going to fucking laser beam that shit through the middle of fucking Africa. Through the middle of South America. Possibly even the equator. Let's cut the whole planet in half. Fuck it. Right? For transport purposes because of business. Because we're in the middle of a war in one of the highest transfer areas for water and shipping. So, you know, these beams that everybody keeps showing you is going on in the world today is not fake. It's real. And as much as I want to talk about it, as much as I want to throw this out to you guys, I know nobody's going to listen to me. Because nobody wants to hear the truth. It's easier to listen to the bullshit and the lies and, oh, we'll just throw it in that pot. You know what I mean? We'll just let that simmer for a while until it fucking blows up in our face. Even though we knew the entire time. We all know exactly what's going on right now. We're just too ignorant and too feeling like we can't do anything about it to do anything about it. And I know you guys are saying, well, if you're saying, well, you can do something about it. Yeah, it's easy. Don't use AI. Right? Oh, no, it's everywhere. Never mind. It was hard for me to even come live and be in front of a camera. The house that I lived in didn't even really have much electronics until I started buying them. And it was because I was buying them for my kids. We all get sucked into this. It's just chaos. I don't know. It's fucking nightmare fuel for me, to be honest with you. But anyway, been live for an hour now and just talking about AI and shit. Another future forward thing to think about is, like I said, the select site program. Amazon just bought a facility in Richmond County. It's an AI plus cloud campus for the Select Site data center for a AI push. So now they are hiring and teaching people AI in bulk for future jobs. And I keep telling everybody, I told my kids this when they were younger, learn how to code, learn how to do stuff with the electronics, learn how to fix them, learn how to do the behind the scenes stuff. In my generation, my children, I told this to them because, and like I said, at some point in time in your lifetime, computers will be taking over a lot of jobs. You will not have access to a lot of jobs that you would have before in my time. You need to be able to learn these things so this way you can have a future of your own and you can explain to your children maybe about what's going on from that point. We don't even, as a collective right now, I don't even think anybody is looking past the next 10, 15 years. We just don't see it. Everybody's still in this, like I said, instant gratification of needing to know what's going on right now, and that's how they look at life, is YOLO. You only live once, live in the moment. That's what they keep telling you. I'm telling you it, right? But the thing is that nobody is planning long term. Nobody is looking at what's going to happen with this long term. And if they are, usually it's because they knew about it like 6 months ago, right? So I implore of you to continue to use your imagination, to continue to use your own mind. And keep bullying the internet. Keep fighting against it. If it's something that you feel strong in, keep talking about it. Your people will come to you. I keep getting this mental reference of the Tower of Babel, where everybody's getting a lot of different information from a lot of different places, and no one really is communicating or able to comprehend each other because of what we're saying. In your mind, when you hold a conversation and you try to comprehend it from someone else, a lot of times there's missing information. We miss parts of the conversation because we're thinking in the background of what's being said, and we're taking it as one way in our thought processes and our experiences and our learning, right, our knowledge. Even if that other person is not specifically saying it in that manner or meaning that as a reference, we communicate in a way that is so lacking. And the information that is missing in each one of these conversations is shown to the others that already have the information or they don't have the information. So when you're getting a conversation with large groups of people and there's different opinions and there's different everything. Have you ever been in a board meeting? Have you ever seen like a Congress come together or like a NATO meeting or something like that? When you have a lot of people from different areas of the world or different places or just different thought processes and different belief systems behind it. And their reasoning for what their belief system is. They feel they're right. This person feels they're right. This person feels they're right. And everyone's raving and yelling and no one's listening. So that's why I tell you guys to practice the pause, the 3-second pause before you scroll to the next thing. Take a minute and breathe and think about all of the information that you just got and think of it in a different way. Not just the way that you received it, but in a different way. Take a step back. A lot of times people get shocked or whatever, but take a step back and really think about it. Like, okay, we're going to talk about these certain scenarios, but let's find out as much information about it first before we say anything. And I'm bad for it. I'm real quick. As soon as I get a thought in my mind, that's the first thing that comes out. Sometimes I even say shit that I don't fucking mean to. Because I don't realize that I'm on stream sometimes. And so, we end up having these conversations or these thoughts and ideas and concepts and stuff like that. And like I said, it's what makes this world worth living in and gives it a chance to be able to evolve. It gives us a chance to be able to learn from each other. If these same people, let's just say, picking out specifically the LA riots, specifically, if you took them out of that scenario and placed them all in a classroom, each person has their own seat. Okay? Just hear me out. And they were able to talk to each other, how much further along could we have possibly have gotten than to just have all of this fucking chaos? And again, it goes back to sometimes, yeah, you do gotta blow up. Sometimes, yeah, you don't feel like you're heard, so you yell, right? You yell and scream, and you cause a big scene, and blah, 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 you know? Because you feel so strongly about this. You feel like this other person or this other group or entity is just not fucking listening. And so, yeah, you go up against that. You're just like, hey, pay attention, listen, hear me, understand me. And the other person, either A, or other entity or whatever, either A, they do hear you, they do see you, and they're legitimately fucking ignoring you. Or they hear you, but they don't understand why. They don't understand the why behind why you were yelling. Why are you screaming? Why are you acting out? Why are you causing protests? Why are you breaking shit? Why are you freaking out? I don't get it. I see it my way. My way seems legit. Your way seems fucking crazy. So when you're, and I get this all the time, especially, you know, if anybody ever knew me and you said something to them, they'd probably be like, yeah, she snaps at the drop of a hat. And it's a problem. Just as many problems as I have with myself internally is as many problems as the world's going to have. Until we get ourselves and our own minds right, we're never going to be okay. It's just going to continuously be evolution. It's not going to be one way. Because there is no one way. You have to keep trying, trial and error. You have to keep trying different ways and giving opportunity for new paths and working together and, you know, being able to celebrate because you guys did pull the trigger, but not the actual one. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wins in war, whether it's between two people or two countries or two planets, because this isn't just going to stop here. This is going to keep going on. And if we have aliens out there, none of us are even capable of handling each other, let alone a fucking alien. Okay? And what if it is real that there are aliens and that they're come here to destroy the planet? Hello? We're already doing it for them. So, start taking care of each other and being there for each other. You would be amazed how much information is missed by lack of conversation. And again, I know that there are a lot of evil entities in this world that just want to see the world fucking burn. And they will sit back in their lawn chair with their drink and just be like, la la la. And they don't care. There are people like that. They want to see the violence. They want to see, you know, all these negative, bad things happen because they have a lot of hatred towards themselves, so they hate the world. Right, baby?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Why'd you put the cat on the thingy? So yeah, I don't know. And maybe my thought processes are very different than yours. And again, I am ignorant in my understanding of all of this. So at the very least, you know, help me understand. Help me understand from a different point of view. You know, nobody wants to go through hard times. But we all have to. It is a part of life. It's a part of learning. It's a lesson. It's experiences. Not just for you, but the other people or other, you know, things around. So, you know, just take a half a day at a time if you have to. You know, everybody is fighting battles that we don't know anything about. And I know you see that in a meme. I'm definitely like, you know, inspirational quote meme lady here, but at least that's what my kids say. And I am in my 40s, so I am of the older generation, and most of y'all don't want to listen to that. Totally fine, because we're boomers or whatever, and we don't know what we're talking about. I was there too. So, and I don't expect you to listen to me. I don't expect you to be able to understand, but at some point in your life, something that I said is going to click in your mind somewhere along the way. And I hope it does sooner than later, for your sake. But, all we can do is what we can do a little bit every day. And yeah, there are people that you just have to say no to. There are people that you cannot let back in. There is a Trojan horse event happening that, we're seeing only two sides to a story that's got four sides to it or more. So just be aware that there is a lot of information that's missing that you're not aware of that would answer a lot of your questions that you have, but because of the fact that you're not asking questions is the reason why you're not understanding it. And some people are just legitimately meant to never fucking understand you, and it sucks. So, now that it's been an hour and 14 minutes of me talking about like all this stuff, which is not uncommon in my streams. So, and I'm sitting here telling y'all in the podcast to stop talking, and here I am talking the whole time. So very contradictory, right? I am dual-minded, so I try to look at things from more than one side of the scenario, and so it's very neutral, and I try to keep it as general as possible. But yeah, I'm in a small sense hypocritical of a lot of the things that I say because of the fact that I say one thing and then I do it, or I don't do it, and then I switch up, and sometimes I'll do it and I won't do it, or something, So it's hard to follow someone when they don't even have like a specific path of their own, right? And that's what I think, like I said, the multi-dimensional holographic being that is nothing but frequency in a skin shell is so beautiful and is so capable and powerful. Just so much worth in you every single day that you don't even see yourself. I think at this point it's an entire body understanding that I think we all know that something big is getting ready to happen. And it's not something that we can control. We gave up control when we allowed AI to exist. We gave up control when we allowed governments to make decisions for us. We gave up control a long time ago when we decided that we weren't going to have our own thoughts, that we're going to allow somebody else to make our thoughts for us, that we were going to allow somebody else to say what we think, tell us how to live and what we need to do every day. And don't get me wrong, yeah, it's great for a baseline. It's not a requirement. We don't have to use money. There are other forms of trade. I mean, businesses know this already with the recycling of motion of money through assets and trades and um, other business ventures. So one thing I can do is just say, even if you don't pray to anything, if you could just send good vibes to the world right now, and just take a minute of your time, that's it. Next 3 seconds before you scroll to the next thing, just think of the world and all the people in it, and just send them good healing vibes right now. Say something in your mind of, hey, we need help. You know what I mean? Because if anybody is listening, which we are completely being watched at all times, there's over 60,000 satellites in space right now, and they are all pointed towards us for the most part. So ever since the early 80s, 70s, 80s, we've all been constantly watched. Just now it's more prevalent. And not only do they have eyes in the skies, but they got eyes on the ground, and now they've got eyes in your house and wherever you go. So, and now with the robot toy AIs, now they have access to your children at all times. So be aware of that when you're buying AI products, that these things, or any kind of electronic products, these things are all hackable. Also, take a queen sweep, clean sweep around your house. And if you have the chance to possibly pull up some kind of RFID monitor type thing where you can make sure that no one left anything at your house to be watched, because yeah, that's real, including phone chargers. So, and the cord. If you have a friend that leaves a phone charger at your house, please don't use it. The possibility of that, A, the block being a camera, and B, the cord being a hacking device that will pull all of your information off of your phone in an instant. Yeah, be aware of that. Also, gifts that were given to you that have eyes or spots or are a little bit off, just look into it, especially teddy bears. Even if it's given by family, it doesn't matter anymore. This evil is in every fucking thing, okay? Be aware that the possibilities of something really negative happening to you are very much higher now. And it can come from any angle. It can come from people who you love. It can come from people who you trusted your whole life. And if you do have a situation where you need to speak about it, please do. Okay, I know it's scary. I know that it's one of those things that sometimes you may not even realize that there's something bad happening. A lot of times there's covert narcissism or covert abuse that's happening that you may not realize that you're in the midst of, that is getting ready to be something really bad. And if it has happened already, please tell somebody, preferably enforcement of some type, whether it's a teacher, a doctor, a police officer, a medical care, anything, any person, adult, preferably somebody who's outside the situation that could possibly help out. And sometimes, like I said, it could just be somebody in your vicinity that you don't even realize, because people record, not everybody's like you. Not everybody has morals. Not everybody has ethics. Remember, we were all raised differently. We've all been through different experiences. So not everybody thinks like you do. Okay? And I say this to myself as well. I am so hyper fucking vigilant about shit now. And have been. I don't know why. As a baseline of freaking paranoia or some shit. But I don't know. But, yeah, all this shit's real. And it's so scary. It's such nightmare fuel for anybody. to come across in any kind of situation for this. I see it all the time, and it's everywhere. It's so prevalent, but yet we never talk about it. And this is what I keep saying and referencing back to the elephant in the room of, why is nobody talking about this? Why is this not mandated and mandatory for people to talk about anything? Why is mental health care in such like disaster that nobody even wants to go get it when they need it? I mean, especially for North Carolina alone, mental health in this state is absolutely atrocious. If you have ever gone to therapy, I guarantee you did not have the same therapist the entire time. You did not have the same doctor the entire time, even if you had a primary. So, healthcare system needs a total fucking overhaul. I mean, there's a lot of systems that were previously enacted that were in current standing that have been evolved since its start and still need to evolve because society evolves, technology evolves, all of this stuff, right? So, again, it goes back to, well, if all of this shit's going to AI and nobody can have a fucking job anymore, nobody can make an income, why isn't all this stuff free then? How the hell are we going to buy this stuff that you're making? You're kind of like killing yourself in your own industry. If nobody can have a job to pay for the stuff that you're selling, how the fuck are you going to sell it? You're just cutting yourself off. Unless there is another thing behind it where you don't need buyers because you have funding elsewhere. Da, 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 da. All of that government funding that went to everything before, where do you think it's going? You don't have a businessman and a businessman working in cahoots with each other over an entire country right now. You don't have businessmen in control of countries right now. See what I'm saying? It's not for us anymore. We are now expendable. All human life is now expendable. Because who needs all of these people when you have robots to do everything for you? You don't need money anymore. You have a robot. It'll do everything. The company will come fix it itself. It's under warranty. I never have to leave my house again. I don't have to grow anything. The food gets printed in my living room. I don't have to have a baby. I could just grow one in a bag. Every single aspect of us that is a human being is being destroyed right in front of our faces. And if I'm the only one to say it, then so be it. Hey, Dasnak. Hey. Launched into ads. Yeah, every 3 minutes. You're welcome. I got a whole 38 cents from the last stream. Woohoo! Oh yeah, don't even start on the whole algorithm thing with the freaking bot farming that's now AI ran. None of us are gonna get paid. So it's completely run all of the human beings off of the social media interface. Good luck. Oh, by the way, if you had Turbo, you wouldn't worry about ads. Business. So, the way I feel it now is that the world has been pushed so far away from humanity that like it doesn't really give us much of a choice but to be corporate minded. And if people can sit at home and play video games all day and get paid for it, what's the point in going out? What's the point in going outside? When we can give you a vitamin D pill, we could print your food for you. Or hell, we'll intravenous that shit. Hello. I don't know how far matrixy I gotta go. You know what I mean? But it's the reality now. Like as long as you have an input and an output. anybody laying in a bed can be successful, right? Especially when you got those halos going over your head that monitors your brain activity to where you can control any kind of anything with your mind, which you could have done that before, but now, due to technology and the advancements of the world today, we are capable of using our mind to do things. Ta-da! So, yeah. Anyway. Can you tell that I have like a lot of emotion in this? A lot of thought in this. And, you know, you guys can label me crazy if you want, because there's a big grade book that can say that anybody at any point in time, if you ever had an emotion, you're crazy. Ask any therapist. They'll tell you. It's like the DMV or DVM2 or some shit. I forget the name of the book, but it's like a complete listing of every single human emotion and the title that they can give you and the medication they can give you for that. So if you've ever cried one time in your fucking life, you've got depression. If you've ever laughed too much. Or if you get angry at your supervisor. You got anger management issues. How dare you? So then this, in my mind, is running. I mean, I'm just going with it, right? In my mind, it's pulling, okay, AI can now label you for anything. Now they can incarcerate you for anything. They can put you in a crazy house for anything. They can take all of your credit, everything that you've ever worked for your entire life can be gone in an instant. In an instant. That's how fast. They can come take your shit. They can come take you out of your house, take your kids, do everything. They can do everything now. Not that they didn't before, but now they have AI. And now AI can do that for you. AI can be the police. Did you guys see the robot police that they have now? Did you guys see the war drones that are in civilian areas? Did you see the drones that people are making at home in wartime situations? That they are not in a wartime situation and they have access to all this shit? It's a very scary time to be alive. The fact that DSS or any other service can come in and take your children out of your house and tell you that you will never see them again scares the fuck out of me. And they don't even have to be put into another foster care. They could be put into trafficking. I just watched a news report the other day about a social worker, a DSS social worker that was trying to encourage prostitution in one of the new cases where the parent was still involved. The parent was still involved in that child's life. And the social worker was going out there telling the child, who was underage, he was a minor, to go prostitute herself to make money. This is the world we live in. And it's a very scary, fucking ugly ass place, okay? So I pray for everyone in this world right now. And like I said, you look outside and it's a beautiful day out and there's nothing going wrong. And, I get fed all of this information as soon as I come online that I don't know is real or not anymore. And I'm like contradictory in my mind of like, well, it's not happening here, so why should I worry about it? I know it's there. I know it exists. That's how it's always been. Even when I was a kid, I sat there in front of the little TV, watched the Desert Storm start on TV. Back then, they were talking about AI. No, maybe not specifically AI, but computers taking over everything. Hell, we all watched Terminator. We know of its capabilities. We're not stupid. As a collective, we're not stupid. We know what's going on. And no one is fighting it. But when it comes down to that day and that moment where you have to stand up and fight for yourself, that's going to be the hardest day you ever have. You want to talk about facing your traumas and all of your fucking insecurities all in one moment? Get on a stand somewhere. Stand in front of a camera somewhere and start talking about your life. You want real? That's fucking real. That when you can't get away from your own thoughts in your mind, That's real. AI is just code. It's bullshit. It's us fed into via gaming, any kind of interaction with social media, and any human interaction between each other since the 80s has been recorded, analyzed, data was taken the entire time. My entire life, we've all been recorded. So I could actually go and ask someone who is over the satellite systems from when all of it started, right, to go back and literally ping me, track every single movement that I've made my entire life, and video footage, including ground footage, CCTV, since the 80s, all over the world. Not just in America, all over the world. Because remember, the satellites are out in outer space. They're pointing towards the planet, and they're able to see everything, up to like minute details. Now, granted, we may not have access for that naturally because we're society, but they have had this access since before then. So any bit of privacy that you thought that you had, and just because you're inside of a house or a building or down in a basement somewhere, doesn't mean any different. It doesn't mean any different at all. I'll go ahead and give you a full-on mind blower. Go look at a 3D map of the Earth right now. And I do mean like an X-ray scan of the Earth right now to show you how much you did not know about the planet that you fucking live on right now. If you thought that this planet had a core and it had like layers and shit, you're wrong. Everything that you were ever taught was wrong. It was an idea. It was a thought process. And everything that I'm saying right now, 10, 15, 20 years from now, is going to be wrong. It's going to be new information. Things are found out. Technology advancements. Things being able to be seen that were never seen before. If you took all of the water off of this planet and only left the land, you would see how minute the amount of land that there is on this planet. Water is the main thing in this bowl of Earth, right? It's the main ingredient is water. It's the main ingredient in us. Okay? We have fibers, we have molecules, but Earth doesn't really have a whole lot of land. And when there's no more land left, because it's all corporatized, and the water's not drinkable, then what? I mean, if they're taking over the land and putting these solar farms on them, which are like 5, 6G, right? As a farmer, you're like, oh yeah, my land's covered. I got shade now. My animals are going to be great. Everything's fine. If it's up off the ground, my animals can graze around it. It's fine. No, within one fucking year, all of your animals will be dead with cancer or some other kind of horrible fucking thing. Because even us, as human beings, cannot be around electronics like that. We are frequency. We are a frequency all of our own. And when you're around a lot of electronics, it affects your frequency. So if you're a landowner and you're into this whole homesteading thing, right? And you're like, oh, well, yeah, it's a solar company. They're cool. You know, I'm into solar. No. Anything having to do with electronics, I highly suggest you ban this shit. For water companies, I know for a fact that my parents, probably about 10 to 15 years ago, maybe longer than that now, actually. Yeah, I want to say it's closer to 20 years ago. The water company for the county came to my parents' house and asked them if they wanted to rent out the land This guy was over the water for the county. He wanted to know if we wanted to rent out the land to farm it to rent to another farmer or whatever, right? For him to come in, for his company to come in, they would provide the water, they would provide the things, whatever, right? But they wanted to rent the land. And I'm like, well, you work for the water company. Why do you want to come in and get this land? And he's like, oh, we'll come in and we'll clear the land well, I was like, well, how are you guys going to clear the land? Because my parents have been living there for a long time now with no pesticides. And I mean, this is like 10, 20 acres. No pesticides at all. Everything has just overgrown. They haven't even touched the fucking land hardly. And previously they did have cows and horses, so it's already been fertilized. And the only thing growing there is like volunteer seeds that came from birds or transfer from wind. They never planted anything there. So when the water guy comes in and he says, oh, we're going to come in and we're going to clear all this out and we're going to put new crops in. I'm like, well, how are you going to clear it out? Oh, we'll just spray Roundup everywhere. My parents are on a well, right? Like right next to the house, a well. That you guys are going to use Roundup on every fucking thing for 10 acres? 20 acres? No. I said no. I was like, no, they're not going to do that. I'll go ahead and tell you no. My parents are very anti-pesticide anything. And for them, I mean, the farmer next door had rented out his land and they came and sprayed with a plane over their crops. Next thing I know, my parents' dogs are losing their fucking fur. Okay? So if you're a landowner and you have a large quantity of land, I highly suggest that you do not rent out to these fucking companies. Okay? If you want to keep anything that you have right now, try your best to hold your ground. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Monsanto, this was a long story and long history of the bullshit that they've put everybody through. They will go and spray the farm next to you. Right? Say they have a right to be there because that landowner has signed papers for them to come and spray. Well, guess what? As a neighbor, you ain't got shit to say about that because it's in the air. And nothing controls the air right now. So all the shit they're spraying on this other field is coming over to my parents' property, right? Fucking up their animals, messing up their land, all this stuff, right? Ain't shit they can do about it. Their well is now in danger of all of those chemicals because of the other fucking land next to them. So anybody who is in this type of scenario, I hope that you continue to stand your ground as much as you possibly can. I know that there's not a lot that you can do about it as an individual, because if you try to like sue them, it's just the end of your life at that point. So yeah. As much as you can, and they even down to the point of saving seeds. Monsanto has got it to the point now where you can't even save seeds anymore. Like my generation, we would take a tomato, take a slice, put the slice in the ground, new tomato would grow, and it would keep doing that. Try that now. Try it with the food that you have now. If you have seeds of anything, try to put it in the ground and grow it and see what happens. It may grow one season, especially for plants that are usually the type to grow every season, or like maybe have a few stragglers if there's some seeds left in the ground to grow the next season or the next, whatever year. Now they don't have that. Unless it's specifically stated that it is going to grow another year, none of these seeds grow anymore. The ground itself, I personally tested it here, live, on stream, and the ground is highly acidic and highly alkaline at the same time. Excuse me. It's in the food. It's in the air. It's in the water. Pretty soon we're going to be fighting over fucking resources between each other. I mean, this is literally, we're watching the fall of an empire happen in real time. So, like I said, as far as thinking about this positively, yeah, all of these things could be used towards a positive endeavor, but how much of that is actually happening? So, I don't know. I'm spitting a lot of truth and talking a lot of bullshit at the same time, so, and I've been live for 2 hours. I haven't even talked about anything on here. So, I mean, yeah, all these things are happening in the world, and yes, life does go on, and yes, as soon as I click off the stream, I'm just going to go about my day. I'm just talking because I feel very strongly about this, and I'm trying to think of ways that I know that I can't change the world myself, but I can interject that positive vibe of the possibility of a better tomorrow every single day. And if I can just give people enough energy to continue the next 3 seconds, then so be it. You know, even if nothing ever comes from any of this streaming at all, right? Like, say I don't ever get paid from it. Say I don't ever continue to stream at all. Maybe one day I just decide to stop and say, fuck it. I don't want to do this anymore. I never got anything from it. Most I got from it was aggravation. You know, if I want to talk negatively about that situation, you know, not getting paid, all of my followers left, all of my fans left, I don't have any subs anymore. I'm not getting any span on it, you know, so it's a dead topic, so I'm just going to leave it to the dust. If I just disappeared off of social media right now, nothing would change. You guys probably wouldn't even notice it. For the very few of you that would, thank you for being there for me. Especially for those of you who have been there with me the entire time and seen the evolution of Eve, so to speak, the Evolution, which is coming. You know, you guys know that when I tell you something, it's not just bullshit. I mean, yeah, there is bullshit in it, but a lot of it's from personal experience, and my thought processes don't just cover one specific detail. It encompasses many, and it pulls in information from other sources and other areas that others may or may not be aware of right now. And I'm hoping that in me saying this, even though if it's a light touch, it's 1% of your day, right? You got 3 seconds with me. So I hope that it helps. I hope it helps somebody somewhere. I hope that you're able to have your celebration, you know, and make your decision so this way you can pull the trigger on your life. Not in that sense, but, you know, I've been there. To the head. I've been there. Looking in the mirror. Wondering. And I keep saying to myself, they always ask you, you know, what is one thing that you wish you could go back and say to your younger self? Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Do it. Whatever it is that's in your head, as long as it's not going to hurt yourself and it's not going to hurt other people. When I say pull the trigger, that means to do it now. That doesn't mean anything negative. If you have the opportunity to become an entrepreneur in all of this chaos, do it. If you have the opportunity to make yourself wealthy beyond measure, whether it's a knowledge, experience, money, things, whatever you consider wealth to be, right? I hope you do it. And I hope you keep going. You know, even if you get the things, ask the universe for help to be able to maintain it. You know, when you ask for abundance and stuff, for the maintenance along with it. And the strength to continue on. And the knowledge and the ability to continue on with whatever it is that you're doing. And make it to where it's not beneficial to you, but to others. Sit down and show people what it is that you're talking about, even if they don't understand you. They may not understand you right now. Maybe you're ahead of your time. I don't know how many times I've said this. Like, I've done shit when I was younger that now is a fucking trend. You know, like, all your ideas and your thoughts are not stupid. Say them. Write them down. Draw them out. Create something from it. Your 5D creates the portal to your 3D, and you are the creator. Your zeros create the ones, and you are the one. You've already been created. Now it's your turn to create and be the leader and show people the right way for whatever it is. And for those of you who are fully encompassed in the negative, you know, use that negative for fuel for your fire to move forward into a better tomorrow. I mean, seriously. I know I keep showing this, but that's what the whole point of this is to keep going, to stay strong, to understand that when everything burns to the fucking ground, that you can rise up again from it. You just have to find a way. And that way is all your own. Yeah, people can help you along that path. People can give you advice and maybe even do shit for you. But ultimately, it's your own decision and it's your own choice and your own life, your own path. No two are alike. I know I keep saying this. I'm repeating myself a lot because I'm just now on kick also. And I want to kind of interject, go ahead and put that out there because I do repeat it a lot in a lot of my streams. And it's the point is repetition. Repetition to get it through your thick fucking skulls. I mean, if you think we're hard-headed as human beings, imagine how hard-headed a robot is. But yeah, I mean, while we still have a chance to be human beings, while we still have a chance to live the life, because right now is the good old days. Right now is the time that you're just like, oh, I wish we could go back to. It's now. Right now. So, make the most of it every day while you can. And for those of you who are rotting away in your beds right now watching me, you know, your time will come. Sometimes you do need a break, and it's okay. Give yourself grace, even if no one else does. Because when you rise up again, out of the darkness and into the light. Into the light. You know what I mean? So, you are more powerful than you realize. You hold within yourself a power that is beyond comprehension, even to us. We don't even know ourselves enough to create a new. We were given the ability to clone ourselves through birth. But we don't know enough about ourselves to make another human being. We don't know enough about ourselves to make an AI. And the fact that we just gave this thing all the power of the world scares me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's for the betterment of all. And how can we look forward to a better future if we don't think positively, right? Who knows? Maybe we will finally get our utopia. Or maybe humans will be eradicated from the earth. And then, in turn, we'll create a utopia. Who knows? I mean, really, if you think about it, utopia is Mars. There's no drama, there's no bullshit, there's no need to eat, there's no need to drink, there's no need to nothing. I mean, Elon Musk is pretty much inhabiting Mars by himself. Like, he's already put a car out there. He put a ship out there. Now he's going to put a robot out there. a humanoid robot. Oh, what's its name? I can't remember its name now. Maybe I can look it up. What? I think it's Optimus. Yeah, it's Optimus. So he's named a robot Optimus, and he's putting it on Mars, and it's a humanoid robot. So Elon Musk, by himself, is inhabiting another fucking planet. I mean, I think Russia and China are out there too, but as far as U.S., we are way, way steps ahead of that in reality. But hold on, let me look up a specific piece of information. Oh, I can't use the microphone because the thing's on mute. Oh wait, no, it's not on mute. Is China working with Iran in this war? China has a strong relationship with Iran, particularly in economic areas like oil imports, has expressed diplomatic support for Iran. It's important to differentiate this from direct military involvement in the current conflict. There's not going to be evidence of direct military involvement. It's being done silently, and it's being done through loopholes that we didn't look at before. This is a different kind of war, guys. But yes, they are alongside Russia and now China are urging de-escalation. And they're saying that, Israel is saying that they're ready to push the button if it gets decimated. I mean, just the size difference between Iran and Israel is exponential, but let alone they're already getting bombarded as it is in that area. That entire area is like just so much is destroyed. And like Syria, Kyiv, I'm trying to think of Tehran. I think Yemen is in. Let me look this up before I say that. But I think Yemen is in war now. Yeah, Yemen, the civil war since 2014. There's a lot going on in the world today. I don't think everybody realizes how much is happening and how much of a tipping point that we're at right now. And like I said, with this whole AI being born, in a sense, that can create other AI. AI can 3D print human beings. AI can 3D print DNA. Nanobots can restructure DNA. So yeah, we've just made ourselves obsolete. I mean, it's just a matter of time of how much longer we're going to be allowed to live, if you think about it. And what is that life going to consist of if we are allowed to live? All I can say is pray. I know this conversation was like super heavy. And, there's more information to this, so I suggest that you go out there and find more information. contradict me, find out the information that I said if it was wrong. And again, at this point in time, when I'm doing this recording, these are all the events that are happening in the world right now. But when you see this, I don't know when you're going to see this. Is it going to be one of those things where streaming and like social media stuff is going to be instant or blocked by humans? Like, is AI going to block us from communicating with each other? Is AI going to shut down all the power grids and only give power to the dark factories? I mean, I don't know. This is the possibilities are endless. You know what I mean? Like, as far as in a negative mindset, but the positive side of it, yes, there'll be advancements in medical technology. There'll be advancements in every single kind of technology that you have available today is going to have AI in it. It's going to be a kind of like a living creature that's connected to everything else in the world. So, you know, it's just going to be a very interesting future. I don't know. It's scary for me. I don't really have a lot positive to say about it. Do I hope for better like cancer treatments and, like I said, medical industry type stuff? Like, for example, my daughter needs to have heart surgery when she turns 21. She got a hole in her heart. They said that by the time that she turns 21, the medical advancements will be so far ahead from what at that moment in time when the doctor said for her to do the surgery in the first place. She's like, just wait. Like, it's good right now. She's cleared for sports and stuff, but like, just wait until she's 21, because by the time that she's 21, which she's 17, but when she turns 21, she'll be able to have heart surgery, but it's going to be completely different than any option that she already just gave me, which was a couple years ago, but still. So, I mean, we don't know what the future holds because it's advancing so fast now and will be advancing at an exponential rate from here going forward. So, you know, don't be surprised if all of a sudden you don't have a mailman anymore. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden the products that you normally purchase are no longer available. Or maybe they are available. Things that you never thought of before. Things from all around the world. That opens up a possibility, right? Trying to think positively on this is like, you know, let's think no borders. This puts the world at unity, right? It causes an immediate unity because everybody's on the same page. Now, if AI's technology is so advanced and we are able to have pretty much anything built for us for free, for the most part, because you can 3D print, you just have to get the supplies, and I'll be honest with you, at some point, they're going to feed you the supplies. Because they're going to want you to stay happy and paying for shit, right? Until you don't have to pay for it anymore. And then it'll be, okay, let's get rid of humans, because there's too many humans on Earth. Or we'll just 3D print the meat or the food for them. Or I'm waiting for Taco Bell to come out with these food pills. If y'all know the movie reference for that, please tell me the movie. I'm serious. I'm waiting for it. And the most messed up part is that all of these things have only come to our awareness within the past year. I'm just going to briefly say year, okay, for most of society, because I'm usually the last person to find out anything. So if I'm learning about it and I'm finding out about it, that means that it's so prevalent in the world already that it's bypassed any information that I've already received. Because by the time I've gotten the news or gotten the information, it's already old news. You got to think about that too. What time was this information given? Especially going forward with the AI videos and the news and the information transfer between people. A lot of us rely on TikTok for our news. How are you going to know if it's real or not? How do we know if it's real or not now? How are the news reporters going to know that it's real or not? I mean, I had this whole conversation about drug street usage versus like the stores, right? Especially in North Carolina because it's not legal yet. Like if you go to a store and buy like D8, D9, D10, D12, whatever fucking number it is now, you know, that's completely legal and fine, even though it's synthesized. It's not real. It's a hybrid. It's whatever you want to call it, right? But if you go out to the street and buy drugs, there's a high possibility you're going to get fentanyl. You're going to die, like, as soon as you touch the bag. So, it's like, okay, pick the lesser of the two evils at this point. You know what I mean? It's corporatized everything. It's giving you what you want, but it's on their terms. See what I'm saying? Like you're thinking you're getting all of these rights and these freedoms and all this, you know, great stuff that's like amazing, right? But the reality of it is that you're actually losing freedom. You're losing your thought processes and your own abilities to do things. So please keep in mind that you are a human being and keep at the very core level of self-centeredness that you're here, that you're real. Okay, don't forget that you're real. The rest of the world may not be, but as long as you're real, you're good, right? So don't lose that, and don't forget that you're a human being and that you are capable of anything, above and beyond anything AI could ever possibly do, because AI is going to be errored 2 times as much as we ever were. See, humans are already created with error. We already have flaws. We have insecurities. We have triggers. We have things that are against our own mindset. Could you imagine that in an AI that has the access to everything internet based? Do we have firewalls for AI? Do we have any kind of protection for ourselves against this? No, we don't. We have no protection. The only protection is to unplug. And even then, it's every fucking where. So, good luck with that. I'm very much for free speaking, freedom of speech, free thinking, thinking outside the box, thinking away from what the normals of everyday are. And don't get me wrong, a lot of it's been fed into me. So even that, I don't know if it's accurate or not. And sometimes we wonder if our thoughts are even our own. You know, you have this one person that does this one-off thing that they would have never have done before. Ever. What made them do that? Let's just blame it on their mental health. It's easy to sweep under the rug that way, right? What happens when AI does that? What happens when AI labels all of us as a virus and we need eradicated immediately? As human beings, we've always been afraid of a higher power because of the way that we treat our lower level beings on the same planet. The way that we've treated each other. That's why we were always afraid of something that was greater than us, of what it would do to us. But the reality is very real now, that the possibilities of that happening are more imminent and more available than ever before. So for anyone who is in any kind of control of this, I please implore that you do continue to stay in control as much as possible, which I don't think that there is any control anymore. The confusion state and the blurred line between reality is for control. It's a power move. And what better way to control the planet than to control everything that runs it? And right now, there are countries making this power move for the AI race. Yes, it's part of the space race, but what if, and going back to the whole Elon Musk controlling, basically inhabiting an entire planet by himself, what if Earth was no longer the focal point? I mean, there's a lot more resources in space that we can't get here. So the trade-off would be exponential, right? We see this all the time in games. Who says it can't be a reality? We've seen it in Star Trek, Final Destination. Well, not Final Destination. I don't know why I said that. I think we watched that the other day. That's probably why I said that. Yeah, space is the final destination. We're going to go out there and we're going to inhabit other planets, whether it's with AI, robots, whatever. Make smart cities on other planets using robots. Robots can time travel. Robots don't get affected by radiation. Only human cells do. So what better way to time travel than with AI? Deep space travel with AI, like I asked. They're able to implant a neural link into your brain, but that's just going to kill you. So why not put your living consciousness into the AI? What happens when you wake up one day and you're a fucking robot? Or maybe you die in real life, like say an accident happens or something like that. You die in real life, a horrible event, right? And you wake up as a fucking robot. But you can remember everything. Or maybe it's glitched, or you don't remember. Like a human being, like me, every day. I tell you guys to time my glitches. There's a reason for it. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to realize that the reality of the future is now. Everything that we thought was 20, 30 years from now is now. Okay? And I have no idea what the future holds. I can't even tell you what's going to happen over the next 5 years. What? What?
Oh, I sent you something that I saw.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at me.
I told a few people in you that that's me leaving the Goodwill. See, they show different. I'm just a little scooter. He's pulling all those trees up.
That's funny.
Look at that, just a scooter.
Oh my goodness. It's all pulley system and weights.
But on a scooter.
It's a motor, yeah.
On a little moped. But
well, hell, Bruce Lee showed you about energy.
See?
Yeah. Oh.
What?
Sound like thunder.
Come on.
Yeah, it did. That was weird. What is that noise? Oh, maybe somebody's rolling their trash can.
Maybe your chair's getting ready to give out.
I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty cool though, baby. So anyway, on that note, my phone's about to die. I'm on 5%.
Who needs a truck?
It's been 2 hours on Twitch, so I'm going to leave it at that. I know this is kind of like a weird first stream for Kick. Sorry, y'all. I just kind of like dove head first into the bullshit. So, like, if you like me, great. If you don't, fuck off. So, anyway. But typically today would have been house chores, vehicle and maintenance, Friday, special event planning, and driver's ed with emergency situations. Today's no gym day. I do need to replace my gym clothes. Thrifting, And social media sites today was Facebook, Pinterest, and Reddit. I was thinking about adding Quora. Whatnot was a new site added for the seller site. Amazon links continue to post them because July is Prime Days. eBay, virtual yard sale, as well as on Whatnot. Etsy is the current PDF file that we're working on. But I did add items to all of my seller sites, so go check those out. If you guys have never seen me before, my screen name is Eve Rife. That is not my real name. It's close, but not right. And feel free to Google me. All of my social media is posted out in my link tree as well. And until next time.